share a little something with you from, it's called The Lost Gospel of Q. And it's supposed to be the original sayings of Jesus. But just to give you a little background of the Gospel of Q. Now, this is not, from what I understand, a fragment that they have found and pieced together. This emerged from scholars mining the Gospels since, I don't know, I think maybe 1500s forward. And in the process, they noticed that there were some different voices here and there. And they surmised that these little voices that they heard were inconsistent with the writings of the authors. Now, I don't know if anybody has noticed when they read something that's from a collective effort, if they notice the subtle changes in the voice, the narration there. But apparently they did. And they put together a collection of sayings. And this is one of them. And it reads here, this is Q2, meaning I assume verse 2, because I'm at the very beginning of it. And crowds came from Jerusalem and Judea and the regions around the Jordan River to be baptized by John. He said to them, "Brood of vipers, who warned you to flee from the impending doom? Produce good fruit. Prove that your hearts are really changed. Do not think of saying to yourselves, 'We are Abraham's children,' because I tell you, God can produce children for Abraham right out of these rocks. Even now, the axe is aimed at the roots of the trees, so that any tree that fails to produce good fruit will be cut down and thrown on the fire." I could do a talk on this alone. And the crowds asked him, "So what shall we do?" And he answered, "Whoever has 2 shirts must share with someone who has none. Whoever has food should do the same." And that brief message there, that brief message, I visited a friend about a week or so ago, and I could only stay one night. There was so much stuff there that I felt I was cramped in, that I felt that I was caged in. And this was a house that had so much stuff in it. And it's almost as though we're here to share, to take care of those for whatever reason who might have none, not to hoard things, not to say this is mine, not to do any of that stuff, but to share, and to not share because you feel obligated, but to just do it. Would anyone like to share any thoughts or comments on this?
Yeah, I will briefly. Uh, it's the beginning of that is the good old hellfire and brimstone kind of message, but the end of the message gets to the heart of what Jesus' message was about, and that it coming from a place of abundance, um, and um, uh, and sharing in an ideally in an organic way, uh, not because, as you said, you're compelled to, but because it should be natural. I mean, I feel like when we get our heart in the right place, it's the most natural thing in the world to share what we have, and uh, it's a good reminder about hanging on to too much stuff, Reverend Philip. I'll take that part to heart myself. So I need to clear out and organize, which my wife keeps reminding me. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you. Bless. Would anyone else like to share their thoughts?
That is a good reminder to get clean out and clear out and, start going through stuff, for sure. Too much stuff is a burden.
It's more than just cleaning out. It's like stop using excuses. When he says that don't think that you can say just because you are the children of Abraham, it's okay. Because the children of Abraham, these rocks could do just as well and probably do better than what you're doing. That's the idea there. Don't make excuses. At least how I would see it. Don't make excuses. Just when someone needs something, just give it to them. Don't give it a second thought. Just give it to them. It's like the homeless person that came and said, if you got $20, I said, no, I'm sorry, I don't carry cash on. But I will take you to the store and buy you $20 worth of food if you like. And then he asked for socks. I said, not a problem. Get you $20 worth of food and we'll get you socks. Not a problem. I think that was more the message than any of the rest of it. But that's just my interpretation of it. So I want to thank you, Sharon, and thank you, Reverend Thomas, for sharing your thoughts about that.
I share one more thing, Reverend Philip. There was a video clip going around on Facebook not long ago, and it was from a security camera in a convenience store, and a homeless person had come into the store and had no shoes. And when they left the store, the clerk ran to the door and stopped him and took off her shoes and gave them to the homeless person. And that's probably the most stark demonstration of what we are saying. It was just spontaneous. It was no thought. It just was the right thing to do. And anyway, I thought that was a good illustration of your point.
Beautiful, beautiful, nicely put. Thank you for that. And that's it. Just, we can do it because that's who we are. All this other stuff, well, I'm getting into something altogether different. So I'm going to thank you for allowing me to share that. And thank you for sharing your thoughts on that as well. God bless.